Hey everybody, welcome back to part 3 of the M.O.V, the media overview, episode 7, looking at my VHS collection. Sorry it's a little later in the day, well not too late, it's about 1:05, so. But anyway, you saw some of the VHS series of VHS tapes I had, so now we're going to look at some of the others I have. In other words, we're going to look at my VHS Disney Classic Collection, or my Disney movie VHSs overall. Now, I've got to make sure I have them all. Looking. Yep, I'm pretty sure I got them all. So let me get these all put together, and believe me, there's a lot. There is a lot here, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. Yeah. Look at that sucker. So, let's line them up best we can. Like I said, best we can. Let's line these suckers up because, well, there's a lot of them, believe me. May not be able to fill up a lot here, so let's just move these around so we can have some room. As you can see, got some of the best movies there is. Maybe I need to lean that, there we go. Lean that up against something. That's one of my older movies. Same with this. At least that stands up. Telling you folks, my family is a Disney-oriented family. Very Disney-oriented. So, yeah. Some movies are going to be in the back. I'll pull them up as much as I can. So, but these is the entire feed. These are all the movies. These are all the movies, believe it or not. All the movies I own. Every single one of them. Live action, animated, you name it. These are the VHSs. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it's true. These are the VHS tapes. So now, let's take a look at them, since I got them all set up. And I'll be taking one down and replacing it and all that, so whatever. But those are the VHS tapes of my Disney collection. So let's start over here. Let's start over here, and let's start with this one. Mickey's Magical Christmas. Now, I do have Once Upon a Christmas on VHS, but it's somewhere, and I'm not going to dig it out. But I do have Once Upon a Christmas, so trust me on that. But I have Magical Christmas. This was the first House of Mouse feature-length film, played out the same way House of Mouse does. Basically shows cartoons, Christmas related, and basically the story, basically the premise of the overall movie is Donald's kind of acting like a Scrooge. And it doesn't help that the guests, all the guests that want to go home that night and spend Christmas at home, are trapped and snowed in. So they got to improvise. And overall it's a great movie. It's got a good song at the end called Best Christmas of All. It has been shown on Disney Channel and Disney XD, or Toon Disney when it was known as Toon Disney, every year since it came out. So definitely watch. Definitely it's a good holiday film. If you've not seen it, you should. Now, next up, a Goofy movie. That's right, this is the original VHS tape of a Goofy movie. That's right. And what I did back in Kansas, as you could probably see, you probably can't see this well, but what I did here is I typed up something. Because I had a typewriter at the time. I typed in a Goofy movie, and then in parentheses I put Goof Troop the movie. because that's essentially what it is. You can take out the characters of Peg and Pistol and Chainsaw and Waffles all you want, but we all know it's Goof Troop the movie. The only reason for the title change is exactly like what Mars Girl said. Disney didn't want to make the mistake that they did with DuckTales and have the movie known as just a continuity movie for a series, or just something based on existing material. Up next we have an extremely goofy movie. This is the direct-to-video sequel. I also have the DVD. I have the DVD of both these films, so the DVDs of both these films. But this is a pretty good film. It's really, really funny. It's pretty good. It runs at 76 minutes, and basically it's kind of like this movie focused on, when it comes to like the romance in the film, this focused on Max and Roxanne. This one focuses on Goofy and Sylvia right here. So it's really, really good. And basically the premise of it is Goofy, being a single parent and used to having Max in the house, can't get over the fact that Max is now out and on his own and in college. So basically what happens is Goofy loses his focus at his job, thus loses his job, and the only way he can get a job now is if he has a college degree. So it's a good movie. Definitely check it out if you have the chance. Next up, one of the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection. This was part of the Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection. The feature classic Pocahontas. It's one of the films that I saw in theaters with both my parents. My mom came out to visit the year it just came out, so we all saw it together. And the one thing about me and my dad, we always agreed to buy these movies when we could. So we bought this when it came out because we enjoyed the movie. It's really, really good. And that's part of our Masterpiece Collection. Basically, when we saw the word collection, we decided, you know, maybe we ought to try to collect the movies, and that's what we were doing. Here we have Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. I got this at a Hastings as a used VHS, but it's actually pretty good. I mean, when I heard of the movie, when I heard the movie was coming out, because I enjoyed the first one so much, and I heard so much hype about this one, I wanted to see it. But every time I tried to rent it out at the local video store in Oskaloosa, it was never there. But finally, I had the opportunity to get it. When it was there, found the day to get. Well, actually, I found the opportunity the day. I found a day, I should say, where it was available, and I ended up renting it, and it turned out just as good as people said it was, and that's why I bought it. It was one of the first movies I actually bought when I was living in Livermore. It's actually one of the first movies I bought, and not Livermore, but Lawrence, Kansas. Lawrence, Kansas is one of the first movies I bought while I was living in Lawrence, Kansas, because I had no DVD player at the time. I still had a VHS player, so. But one of the first ones. Now, of course, can't have Lion King 2 without the movie that it's a sequel to, The Lion King. And this, of course, is part of the Masterpiece Collection. Interesting story. Me and my dad liked this movie. We saw it twice in the theaters, and he liked it so much that he vowed the day it came out we were going to get it, and that's what we did. We ended up getting it the day it came out, or at least the week it came out. Because I can tell you this, when we looked at the video store, I think it was at Kmart or Walmart, I can't remember which place we got it at. You know, the little, I can't even think of it. I've wheeled those out myself at Walmart. Those places that they put the little poster things, or whatever they call, that hold the movies and all that, whatever those are called. When we saw this, we saw that not many were left, so we ended up getting one, because we knew if we came back later on, it would probably all be gone and be sold out. So we got it that week, or if not the day it came out. So definitely worthy part of the collection. Then, of course, we have Aladdin and the King of Thieves. I got this movie because, of course, it was the last Aladdin movie, and it was also the finale to the series. The overall animated series. And I got this, I believe I got this in Oskaloosa. They actually was selling this in Oskaloosa. I think I got this in Oskaloosa, I'm not really sure. But I ended up getting it, and I enjoyed it. So it was a great addition to my Disney collection. And if you have not seen this movie, you should. It's really, really good. But that's another part of it. Then right here we have one of my personal favorites. It's Robin Hood. This is Robin Hood. I got this. This is another one of the VHSs I got when I was living in Lawrence, Kansas, because I'd always enjoyed the movie. And it's part of the gold collection. This is when they started doing the gold part instead of the masterpiece. And it does have a special feature, believe it or not, and that's the Ye Oldies cartoon starring Mickey Mouse. So overall, I definitely was happy to get this and make it part of my collection. So Robin Hood. Then right here we have Fantasia. This actually makes two Fantasias we have in this household. That's right, let me explain. You see, I bought this because I was living on my own in Kansas. I bought this, figured I should have a copy of my own. I got it at a half-price bookstore for $3.98. $3.98. And when I moved here, I forgot that my mom had the. I had forgotten when I moved back here. I had forgotten that my mom still had the Fantasia tape that she bought when me and my sisters were young. So, yeah, Fantasia, part of the VHS collection of my Disney collection. Right there, and even has somebody's name on there. I don't know who. Steve. I don't know, Steve. I don't know who's his last name, but lives in Lawrence, I guess. But he forgot to take his address off there. But that's. But it's always good to have this in the collection. Always good to have something like this in the collection. I want to get the sequel as well. I'm going to get the sequel as well, so we'll see what happens. Then, of course, we have Lady and the Tramp 2, Scampet's Adventure. It's got a screensaver in the back you can put on your computer. And I'm sorry for the noise. We've got a street sweeper coming around. Yep. Like I said, sorry about the noise. Let me shut the window. Alright, sorry about the noise. We have a street sweeper, like I said. But anyway, and don't you just hate that? You try to get some cool air in here after you've had the heater on for a little bit to warm you up, and it's a nice day, and all of a sudden here comes a street sweeper. But anyway, getting back to what I'm saying, I'm sorry for the noise in the background. Here's Scamp's Adventure, Lady and the Tramp 2. Like I was saying, came with a screensaver, which was pretty cool. And I bought this because when I saw the previews for this on the computer, on the internet, I saw the previews, the theatrical previews, and I thought to myself, this is a pretty good movie. So, since I liked the first one, I figured I'd like the second one, and I did. That's why I got this and made it part of my Disney collection. And right here we have Cinderella. This is also part of the Walt Disney Masterpiece collection. I got this, believe it or not, in Oskaloosa. I can't even think of his name. It was J&C Video or something. I don't know. But I remember, because I saved up some money, and I remember the guy at the video store, because he owned it, would always have the new movies, whether they were Disney or whatever, up front on these little pedestals that you see like at a Blockbuster. He'd have the newest movies. And I always saw this and I thought, I want to add it, and that's what I did. I finally had the money to add it, and that's what I did. And you got to have this in your collection. If you don't have it in your collection, then where are you? But Cinderella, part of the Masterpiece collection. And then, of course, you can't have a Disney collection, you can't have a VHS collection of Disney movies without the first animated film itself, Snow White. This here came out in the early to mid 90s, back in theaters, and then they re-released it on the VHS. And this was one of the movies my dad wanted to get when it came out on VHS, because not only was it the first time on VHS, but it was also the first movie Disney ever made. And I've had it for going on I think 18 years now, or 17 years now, going on that, which is pretty cool. So it's still in good condition. It's a little worse for wear because of the, like I said, the 16 to 17 years I've owned it. But there it is right there, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now this here I got back in 2000, or actually back in 99. This is Inspector Gadget with Matthew Broderick. This was the live action movie that Disney did with Dick Animation and Cabin Pictures based on the cartoon. And it's pretty funny. If you've never seen this movie, you got to check it out. It's really, really funny. The bonus at the end is they got the music video by Youngstown. So I got this for Christmas. It was from my grandma out in Kansas, so she gave me it for Christmas, and I liked it. So I really loved it. So it was definitely a good addition to my Disney home video collection. And it was actually the last one I got as a present, still living in Oskaloosa. And then right here, I got this while I was living in Lawrence, Kansas. This is Fox and the Hound. My parents actually took me and my sisters to see this when it was in the theaters. And I figured I would get it because it's a good film. And also the fact that they had a sequel coming out as well, which was Fox and the Hound 2, which is also good. And definitely a good addition to any Disney movie collection, whether you're just doing the masterpieces, the gold, or whatever, or just VHS and DVDs. Definitely a good addition, and that's why I got it. And then of course we have The Three Musketeers. This is the 1993 movie. This is when Disney was, and still at times is, doing what is known as action films. This is at a time when they would consider a movie like this PG. They could have done PG-13, but it was PG. It's a really fun movie, really enjoyable. It's got the music video, I think, at the beginning of it. So it was definitely a good addition. And I've always liked the movie. I don't know, I just had a connection with it. I've always liked it. So definitely a good addition. If you want to add something to your Walt Disney movie collection, whether it's DVD or VHS, this is one to add. So those are my Disney VHS movie collection overall. Ugh. And I tell you, it's a lot. Now let me check my time here. Ooh, 18 minutes already. I didn't even realize that. Gives me about 20 minutes. Alright, now, what else can we look at? Well, let's take a look at some of my... Well, let's take a look at another series of movies. A series I have on VHS. Another series I have on VHS. I got these at Hastings, I believe. I believe it was at Hastings. And we're talking about the SWAT Cats. That's right, the SWAT Cat series. I got this, like I said, I think I got these at Hastings. This is Volume 1, Strike of Dark Cat. This is Volume 1. It's got 2 episodes on it, The Wrath of Dark Cat and The Night of Dark Cat. I mean, and I got these because I've always enjoyed the series. I mean, who has not enjoyed this series? It's a really good series. It's probably one of the darker series that Hanna-Barbera has ever made. But SWAT Cats, Volume 1, Strike of Dark Cat. And then we have Volume 2, which is Deadly Dr. Viper. And the episodes on here is Destructive Nature and Catastrophe, with Viper in them. And these are all from the first season. So, yeah, like I said, I got these. And these are actually, believe it or not, well, actually, I didn't really get these. I'm looking at them. I actually got these from Canada, now that I think about it, because the video distributor is Malafilm. M.O.V film, which I think Zanazarik Shane is talked about in his Transformer DVDs, or his Transformer videos. But this is volume 2. And then here's volume 3, The Metallic Cats Attack. That's right, The Metallic Cats Attack. It's called, the episodes are The Metallic Cats and Metal Urgency. Again, volume 3. And I think that's all that came out. I could be wrong. But there you go. All 3 volumes of the SWAT Cats. And just to let you know, some of these I did get online through Canada, because Canada had a lot of these things going. So that was pretty cool. Okay, coming up next, I'm trying to open a box here so I can put these in there. Alright, next up, let's take a look at some of my overall movies, and there's a lot of them, overall, like live action movies and stuff. There's a lot of them, just like with my Disney collection, there's a lot of them. Some you may have heard of course you may have heard of them anyway. Some you may not have heard of, because you're like, well, what is that? You know, kind of deal. Oh, my back. Like I said, I got a lot of these things, just a lot of them. So I'm not going to line them up or anything. I'm not going to line them up because there's too many. I'm not going to go through that. I'm just going to show you what I have. You know, because like I said, I got a lot of these suckers. These are just movies that have been in theaters, movies that you've heard of. Just a lot of them, you know. So, getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Getting down to the nitty-gritty. If I run out of time, I'm going to apologize. But anyway, let's check my time right now before I do this. 22, so I got about 17 minutes to go. So we probably have plenty of time. So let's take a look at these movies. First of all, and then, again, these are the movies that I've seen in theaters, have not seen in theaters, and I've actually been a fan of, as well, and gotten for Christmas and other things. But let's take a look at them. This one I saw in theaters is Men in Black. It's the first movie. I actually have the sequel on DVD. Men in Black movie. It's really, really funny. It's got the Men in Black video at the end. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have this in the movie collection. Here I have Batman Forever. The Batman Forever movie. I have all 4 Batman movies on VHS, and I've transferred 2 of them so far on the DVD. These last 2 are going to be the next ones. And then of course we've got Batman and Robin, which a nostalgia critic has kind of voiced his opinion on, saying it's one of the worst sequels of all time. I'm not trying to say it's a good movie, but I thought it was okay. And then of course we have this, Transformers the movie on VHS, the special collector's edition by Kid Rhino Home and Video. This has the swear word. This actually has the swear word, I believe. But get this. There's the opening of it. But get this. The intro is the UK intro. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. It's the UK intro, I believe, on here. So, but it's special collector's edition, Kid Rhino. Here we have The Jetsons, the movie. I wanted to see this in theaters, just like this. You know, one thing me and Zanazarik will have in common is we never saw this movie in theaters. I wanted to see it, but because it was PG and I was only about 7 years old, and I guess to my parents not really ready for a theatrical movie, especially one like this, you know, they didn't take me, so I had to wait for it. And when it came out in video, me and my family were one of the first families to reserve it and rent it. So that was good. This movie right here. And then of course I have Jetsons the movie. I've always liked the Jetsons. Never saw it in the theaters, wanted to, but my dad said it didn't look so good because He went into the theaters one time to find one of my sisters, and he looked into one of the theater areas, and all he saw was these like little fuzzy heads, and he said it didn't look good. But to me, it's pretty good. It's got music by Tiffany, and that's why I added it to my collection. And now I have it on DVD because I recorded it off Encore. I recorded it off Encore, and I'm sorry if I'm speed talking. And then of course we have Hey There, It's Yogi Bear. I got this online, off I think eBay, I believe. I got this off eBay. This is when it was released by Paramount. Paramount along with KVC Video helped release it. I don't know if that's what it is, but there it is. Hey There, It's Yogi Bear. It's the 1964 movie. I mean, I now know the movie's on DVD and everything, but hey, I've already transferred it to DVD from this. But I might get the DVD anyway. Then right here we have a bull shot, and I know this sounds weird, but when I got this movie, I thought it was the movie I was looking for, because I remember there was this movie I saw on television. It was sort of like a satire film. I don't know what kind of film it was, but the one scene I remember the most from it is, you know, it's where this guy and this woman are, you know, I guess they meet at a dinner area, and then they go make out in a bed. They go have sex in a bed, and I don't remember exactly what the name of the movie is, but they, like I said, they meet in this dining area. Then I guess they go and make out and have sex in a bed, and then these guys, I guess, who are following the guy that's the girl's making out with, go up to the place, up to the room, up to the bed, up to the door of the bedroom they're in, and start shooting. And before they do this, okay, before these guys come and shoot at the door, trying to shoot at the person inside, the guy and the girl, they go under the sheet and continue to make out and have sex. And then the people just start shooting at them. And after all the bullets are done, finished fire. After they have finished firing at them, and all the bullets, you know, basically after this gang of people stop firing, you hear this woman saying a line like, "That was wonderful. I felt the earth move." That was the line that stuck in my mind, because, you know, they were under the sheets, they were making out, bullets are flying above them, and then after the bullets are done flying, you hear the woman saying, "That was wonderful. I felt the earth move." And I'm thinking, I remember that. That's the only thing I remember about the film. Because also you kind of see like a foot move a little bit under the sheets, but that's it. So I thought this was it right here. I thought it was. I guess not, but this is Bullshot. It's pretty funny. But again, I thought this was the movie and I was wrong. So that was my mistake. Let me check my time here. Okay, I got about 11 minutes left. Go through these real quickly. Here we have the Flintstones, of course, the live-action movie based in '94. It was the first movie I saw in theaters when I went back to Kansas. Then we have the sequel, Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas, which is not a sequel but the prequel. Saw this in theaters when I first moved to Lawrence, Kansas, right here. Then of course I have Jurassic Park. Who does not have this movie? Who does not have it? If they don't, they're crazy. Titanic. This was, I actually, believe it or not, I actually got this movie when it came out. I told my dad, I'm going to get this, no matter what you say, I'm going to get it, and I did. It's a really good movie. I mean, again, if nobody has this in the collection, again, what is wrong with you? And you can see it comes out in 2 different case covers like that, so that's pretty cool. And that's the one thing about these dual discs. I mean, nowadays you get the whole thing on one dual tapes, these 2 tapes, because nowadays you get them in 1 disc, and that's pretty cool. And then of course I have No Holds Barred with Hulk Hogan. This is the 1989 movie, and if you haven't heard of this movie, where have you been? And then I got Mission Impossible 2, as well as I have Mission Impossible 3 on DVD, but I got this when it came out. I saw this in the theaters. I saw the 3rd one, I believe, in the theaters. And they were both good. No doubt about it, and I can't wait for the 4th one. This here, Saving Private Ryan, I got from my grandparents. That's right, my grandparents sent me this for Christmas. This is Saving Private Ryan. That's why I keep it around. It's the special commemorative limited edition. That's pretty cool. And then of course I have Pearl Harbor. I saw this in the movie theaters and I enjoyed it. No matter what people say, I enjoyed it. I did. You can't say much about it. And then over here we have Who Framed Roger Rabbit. We have George of the Jungle. I'm kind of going through these real quickly. We have The Mask right here. American Tail, 50 Goes West. I lost the cover, but I have it on DVD now. Speed. This I never saw it in the theaters, but I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I gotta see it. It looks interesting, and it was, no doubt about it. Then over here we have The Land Before Time. This one you may have heard of, maybe not. It was a NBC movie released on NBC. It's got a PG rating, but it's Archie Return to Riverdale. It's basically a reunion movie of Archie and his friends, based on Archie comics. Pretty Woman. You might say to yourself, why? And you got to answer that question for yourself. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Saw this in the theaters before I left for Kansas. Quick story, my sister, who worked at a place called Ultimate Video, my oldest sister, was always able to get advanced copies of the tapes, and she got us an advanced copy of the movie, but it was only the version that we saw in the theaters. This one has the additional footage not seen in theaters. Then right here we have Independence Day. There's the thing right there that came with it. Independence Day. Then over here, real quickly, if I can pull this out. I may have to stop the video and go into a fourth part real quickly when I'm at it. But here we have Daffy Duck Quackbusters. Got this at half-price bookstores. Right here, Daffy Duck Quackbusters. Here we have Space Jam. Saw this twice in the theaters. Loved it. No matter what people say. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. Saw this in theaters. Tom Sawyer. Got the I transferred this to DVD. I had the DVD, then I sold the DVD, so I transferred this to DVD. Get the idea. But good movie. I saw them kind of giving a sneak peek of how they made it on TNN, and I thought I thought it looked good. The music sounded good. Watched it. I was right. It was good. No doubt about it. Then we have Digimon the movie. Saw this in theaters. Recently transferred it to VHS. I mean, not to VHS, but to DVD. All Dogs Go to Heaven 2. Now have it on DVD. Recorded it off Encore. Good movie. And of course, despite what you may say, it's a decent film. Tom and Jerry the movie. So there you go. And I'm sorry if I'm speeding through these real quickly. Got to check my time. Okay, I got about 6 minutes left, so I'm going to stop right here, and then I'm going to continue on in part 4.